Hi guys, Cody here with EdgeProInc.com. Today we're going to sharpen a pair of Fiskars scissors. These are one of the most common scissors that people have in their homes. They're not really known for being high quality and they're pretty inexpensive, but that is exactly what makes them the perfect scissor to practice on and put your sharpening skills to the test. Before I sharpen these scissors, there's a couple things I'm going to do. First, I inspect the outside and inside of each blade. You're going to look at the outside edge anyways, because it's going to be facing you while you sharpen. But looking at the inside edge is equally, maybe even more important, and it's going to tell you a lot about what you're getting into before you start sharpening. Damage to the inside edge will cause scissors to hang up on each other. And it can also cause scissors to tear material instead of cut. And if the inside edge of the scissor has been rounded, it can cause material to slide between the blades. So I always take a close look at the inside edge to give me an idea of how much material I'm going to need to remove. And that's going to influence what stone I decide to begin with. Second, I'll do some test cuts with the scissors. If I'm sharpening for a customer, I'll ask for a sample of the material that they cut, because a lot of people use their scissors for one specific purpose. And just because a pair of scissors will cut one material well, doesn't necessarily mean that they'll cut another material well. The test cuts are going to help me identify any problematic areas in the blades that I might have missed when I was visually inspecting them. It's also going to tell me how good of a job I did sharpening the scissors when I go back and do some more test cuts after they've been sharpened. On the back side of the manual that comes with the scissor attachment, there's a diagram that clearly identifies what each part is called. So you can refer to the diagram if I lose you. And if you've lost your instruction manual, you can download a new one on our website, and I'll also leave a link in the description below. Alright, let's get set up. We'll begin by putting the scissors under the clamp bar. You want the edge of the scissors to stick above the backing plate, but how high above the backing plate can vary from scissor to scissor. Smaller scissors will stick just a little bit above the backing plate, and larger scissors will need to be a little bit higher. Adjust the Allen screw to the thickness of the blade. Then tighten down the clamp bar lock knob. The two bars on each side of the clamp are called the stops or index points. These are here so you can take the scissors out when it's time to deburr and return them to the same position. For safety, you can put something over the point of the other blade, and you can also wrap a rubber band around the other scissor handle and the bottom of the clamp bar to keep the scissors from closing on you while you sharpen. When using the scissor attachment, you have two different ways of adjusting the sharpening angle. You can adjust it below by swinging the backing plate back and forth, or you can adjust it above where you normally do. You're going to need a Sharpie or some type of marker to help set the sharpening angle. Put a little ink on the bevel of the scissor, then begin at the back of the edge and slowly raise the angle until you're able to remove ink along the bevel and clear out to the edge. I'll normally let it get really close using the adjustment with the backing plate, then make the final minor adjustments up top. If the scissors have a wide bevel, or if there's any damage to the inside edge, you might want to raise the angle just a little bit from the factory edge. This is going to make sharpening a lot easier and save you time. Once the angle is set and everything is locked in, you're ready to start sharpening. I'm going to begin sharpening with the 400 grit stone. Just like when I'm sharpening a knife, I like to lay all my groundwork with the first stone and continue removing metal until I have a solid, consistent burr along the full length of the blade. Once the burr is established with the 400 grit stone, I'm going to leave the scissors right where they are and go over the blade with the 600 and 1000 grit stone. You could finish these scissors with the 600 grit stone if you prefer, but I like to finish with the 1000. With scissors like this, it's just not that critical. Now that I've gone over it with the 1000 grit stone, I'm going to remove the burr in 2 steps. Remove the scissors from the attachment, but don't let the scissors close. Hold the 1000 grit stone in your hand and flat against the inside of the blade. Gently make some push strokes with the stone down the length of the scissor. This will normally kick a really small burr back over to the beveled side of the scissor. So you're going to need to load the scissor back in the attachment and make another light pass over the bevel with the 1000. Then remove the scissors again and deburr the inside of the scissor, holding the stone flat against the inside of the blade one last time. That side of the scissors should now be sharp, but you still do not want to let the scissors close. Now you need to repeat this entire process on the opposite blade. Sometimes both blades are sharpened at the same angle, but sometimes they're sharpened at entirely different angles. So you gotta make sure you double check your angle setting before you start to sharpen the other blade. Now both blades are sharp. The first time you close the scissors, you'll want to separate the blades, then let them ride together as they open. Do this about 3 or 4 times, and that will help ensure that any remaining burr will be pushed out from between the blades. Now both blades are sharp, and I can see a clear improvement from where they were before to where they are now. If you've been having success sharpening knives and you haven't tackled scissors yet, then don't be afraid to give it a try. Whether you just sharpen for yourself or it's a small business, this is a really valuable service that your customers or friends will really appreciate. Just like everyone you know owns a set of knives, I'm willing to bet that they also own at least one pair of scissors. And if you have any questions, we're always here to help. You can just give us a call or send an email to info@edgeproinc.com and either myself or Ben will get back to you. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe below so you don't miss any sharpening videos. Thanks for watching.